So we actually got Oz in the hot seat for change, which is kind of cool. What's up, Oz?
What's up, pasta?
Hey, man. Hey, and you're not muted. So
I'm not muted tonight.
is it all speculation? What's going on? Because I heard the Mute Oz movement is full steam ahead. So
I've heard it. It's becoming more and more popular. But I'm just going to tell you, the more you mute Oz, the louder he gets.
hey, that's what it's all about. I think it's like a reverse psychology. Hey, but look, if you don't mind, I'd like to get into some questions. We have some tough questions for you, man. So we're gonna be really pulling back the curtain here and getting to know the guy, the AKA the Oz or Austin to his friends and family, or dumbass to me. You know,
however you want to split
it. Yeah. Or pain in the ass, I should say. But anyway, look, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. The first one I wanted to bring up was, you're new to atheism. You're the best part of 40. You're not a young buck like me. So you're almost 40 years old. And a large percentage of your life, you were a Christian. And you were involved in the Christian worldview, for lack of a better term. So could you get into what type of denomination you were and how long you were a Christian and what it's been like to transition into a secular lifestyle?
The quickest way to run through it is, as I was born into Christianity and was raised in a now what I call a radical evangelical household and grew up that way. And I held really many different, I had many different responsibilities, whether it was overseeing small groups. I was a drummer. I was a sound guy. I helped with a leader in youth groups. I did many different things, all in the name of the Lord and the church.
Wow. And was it like a cold turkey thing? You're just like, nah, not for me? Or how long had you been questioning your beliefs?
You know, that's one of the things that I think I still kind of not struggle with, but I question how long I questioned, because I remember when I was probably 17 years old, right around there, questioning my mom on whether this was all just hocus pocus and just magic and that kind of thing.
Right.
And those things started, but what really separated is, when I was serving in a church and I was a drummer and doing all those things, there was a Sunday that I didn't have to play drums and I didn't have to do anything else. I had no responsibilities that given Sunday. And I was listening to the words of the song, or the words of the songs that were played, and then listening to the scriptures from what was preached that Sunday. And it hit me that, you know what? I've never really studied this book on my own. I was listening to the words of the song, or the words of the songs that were played, and then listening to the scriptures from what was preached that Sunday. And it hit me that, you know what? I've never really studied this book on my own. I've never dug into it like I would, or not dug in. I've never read it like I would read a book that I just picked up from the library. I've only read it with the context or the lenses of what the pastors or the guest ministers told me to read it through. Those contexts. And when I started to read it on my own and go through each chapter, each book on my own, I was like, holy shit. Like I'm actually reading and believing and buying into a book.
Did you actually just say holy shit? You said holy shit?
I did. In that moment, I did.
It was correct context too. It was in context.
Absolutely. It was in context. Like, holy shit. I'm reading a book that's telling me that snakes talk and there's bushes that spontaneously combust and talk to us. And it sounds so elementary.
Yeah.
But those are two of the first things that popped out to me. Was like, I've actually been listening to this shit and buying it as quote unquote gospel truth my entire life without applying logic and reason. And that's what really started me down this path.
Logic and reason. Yeah. Good old boys. Logic and reason. Yeah. My first two dogs.
They're good brothers.
Two Jack Russells. Logic and reason. God rest their souls. Good dog. Wait a minute. Hold on. But I was thinking to myself, you said you started reading the books, and that kind of sparked your thought process. It's a lot of books, though. 66 of them, guys. 66 of those books.
Yep.
Since you've transitioned into a secular lifestyle, what have you noticed different?
Man. Well, first of all, and I'll give the very brief version of this, but when I finally decided to walk away from church and faith and religion, I left with zero friendships, which I felt like, and I thought I had a lot of those, thought I had a lot of good friends. And when I walked away, I found out I had zero. And I have no animosity or hatred towards those people. But I found myself being very lonely, and kind of out on an island by myself. But all of a sudden I found a community of people that had either been through what I've been through or felt the same way I felt, that were so accepting and loving and endearing to where I was at in my process, and wanting to help me walk through that process and to find myself and find my identity, and just to name a few, part of our channel, Pasta and Jesus Mike and Jeff and Steve and all the other ones. Like, I found this community where it's like, it's okay to not believe. And I didn't think I would ever find that, so that was the next step, was finding people that I could just be myself with. And I think that was pivotal.
Well, I accept you, buddy. You're a cool cat. And I think you've got something that a lot of folks don't have. I know a lot of atheists that weren't religious and don't have the story you have. So it's interesting to hear your story. So share it. I think you have a lot to say, and this is a great platform. So let's fast forward, right? So you catch a hold of, who's this guy? Pasta Mike?
The Pasta Man.
Yeah, you catch a hold of this Pasta Mike. I heard he's like a burn victim. Anyway, you catch a hold of this guy. No offense to any actual burn victims or anything, but you catch a hold of the guy. You catch a hold of some other folks, like-minded guys. What's your goal? What's your objective? You want to start a movement? You trying to start a militia? What you doing, bud? What you doing?
Oh man,
what you trying to do? So, what is your objective with TART and with the Atheist Roundtable? The Atheist Roundtable. What's your goal there, bud?
The Atheist. No, and that's a fantastic tee up for that.
Who came up with that, by the way? It sounds pretty cool.
That Pasta guy. Pasta guy. Yeah.
The Atheist Roundtable. Welcome to the Atheist Roundtable, featuring Pastor Mike and his incredible Atheist Roundtable. No. So we thought about a bunch of names, like Pastor Mike and his Atheist Roundtable gang. No? How many names did we come up with? So Pastor Mike and all his buddies.
Pasta Mike and friends.
Yeah. Pasta Mike in bold capital letters, and then some of his buddies with Oz at the end. Copywritten.
Pasta Mike and those guys.
Yeah, Pasta Mike and some ex-Christians. They're still holding on to their beliefs. But anyway, you've got the group of guys together now. So we've got the Atheist Roundtable. And how is it all structured? Are you aiming to change people's minds? Are you wanting to just delve into explore why one believes what they believe? Are you wanting to debate folks? What's going on?
How can we sit down and have that conversation to where, how do we test that? How do we get to the point where not only does it convince you, so if you're the believer, how does it convince you, but how does that convince me?
Surely knowledge is why somebody would say, hey, I believe this to be true. It's demonstrable. It's backed with fact, evidence. Here's why it's true. What am I missing?
Well, the thing is, most theists that we talk to, they present faith as their pathway to their truth. And Pasta, just asking you, would you agree that faith is a pathway to truth?
Well, it depends if you're talking about pistis, because most things in the English language, I've adopted, modern translations of. But when it comes to the word faith, I still use what they were using back I take hermeneutics, and that's the only word though that I use from then. But everything else I currently use modern terminology on. So if we're going to talk about faith, I'd like you to get a time machine and go back to the Roman era, or possibly even let's go back to the Bronze Age and talk about what they interpreted as language back then, because that's what I use faith as. So you've got a group of guys, they're supportive of you. Well, most of them, right? The ones who don't want to mute you. Let's agree on that. So you got a group of guys, they're supportive of you. Oh shit, Austin. Oh, were you yawning?
No, I was just covering my mouth. I was muting Oz.
I stopped because I thought you were yawning. I thought I was boring you.
No.
So Oz, you got a group of guys now together. You're no longer a Christian, right? Sure. Yep. I don't need to go get Jack Tremarco off the Dr. Phil show to put you under the lie detector test.
No.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I was told that you pray sometimes before you eat. No? You don't say grace?
No.
All right, I'll take your word on it. But you got a group of guys together. TART, the Atheist Roundtable. Use this opportunity now. We got a platform. What is the objective? What's the objective of the Atheist Roundtable?
We want to find people right where they are at today, in the moment, and we want to have that conversation with them, and again delve into that conversation of why do you believe what you believe, and go through that conversation. And if we can help people drill down to that and find out that they do or don't believe in more true things than not, that's why we do what we do. And we want to help you and anybody else find out, are these things that I'm claiming are true, are they actually true? Are they things that I just want to and have a desire to believe in?
So you're looking to sit down with people that claim a belief in maybe a God, in aliens, in the supernatural, and you'd like to determine as to why they feel justified in that belief. Why do they believe in it? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Whether it's Christianity or you're a Muslim, Buddhist, you believe in aliens or the next things to occupy or beings to occupy our earth. We want to talk to you and find out why you believe what you believe, and do you have a justifiable reason to believe what you believe?
So let's get into the First Amendment and freedom of religion, freedom of speech. When we have somebody on the show that may have a difference of worldview, somebody that believes in something that we do not, and you question them, and you may come to the determination that, in your opinion, they aren't justified in their belief. Do you feel that they still have a right to believe in that? Do you respect them still?
Yes, absolutely.
God damn it, Austin.
I thought you were pausing there. My bad.
God damn it. This is it.
You hired me, asshole.
I did. So if one of your guests' worldview doesn't line up with yours, or if what they believe to be true isn't justifiable in your view or in your opinion, you're still going to respect them as an individual, yet question them to delve into why they believe it to be true. Is that correct?
Yeah. So when it comes to the human, the individual, we're always going to respect that. When it comes to the faith, the belief, the religion, we're going to ask the tough questions, the difficult questions, and we're going to delve into why they believe what they believe.
Well, Oz, man, it's been a pleasure to chat with you. Kind of. You know, we don't often get a chance to chat in this type of environment. Okay. I'm trying to think of something shitty to say. Hey, man, thanks so much for allowing us to get into the studio today to ask some tough questions. And it's not often I get to beat my co-host in a debate about coolness and swag. But I do have to ask, before we go, if we could just spin this right now and say, hey, look, it's a year into the future. What do you see for the Atheist Roundtable, and what do you really hope for us?
Oh, man, I think about this every single day. And my goal, and my hope and my wish is that the roundtable is it's a national, at least a national influence on the skeptic and atheist community, and we provide a platform where theists, atheists, agnostic, whatever, that those people can come to the round table and have a discussion, and that all of us can find the same thing that we are looking for, is that we can find more true things than not. And we can do it diplomatically and have calm, civil, adult conversations, and be able to drive those home and help each other out and help each other be better human beings.
Well, on that note, man, thank you so much for your time again. Hey, and don't forget to check out the Atheist Roundtable on YouTube. Like and subscribe. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All the links are in the YouTube channel. And Oz, I really appreciate you, man. I'm going to unmute you today. But on the next live show, it is back to square one. Take care.